When one athlete is holding up the entire WNBA like she's hauling a mattress up a spiral staircase, you know something wild is going on. Caitlin Clark isn't just a star player. She's basically the plot line, the headline, and the main attraction at every arena concession stand. She's got ESPN doing backflips in gratitude and Fox Sports considering renaming themselves Clark Sports. If TV networks had a soul, they'd be offering her eternal hugs and free pizza for life. We're not just talking big numbers, we're talking bonkers, boardroom executives spitting out their latte kind of numbers. The kind the league probably assumed had gone extinct with the dinosaurs. People who haven't watched women's hoops since Cheryl Swoops had her own sneaker line are now glued to their screens. It's like March Madness suddenly became a year-round subscription, and Caitlin's the one ringing the register. But how does the WNBA treat this phenomenon? Like a vending machine. Helpful, but replaceable. Caitlin's giving them platinum. Seriously, the welcome mat for Clark looked more like a yoga mat someone found at a thrift store. Instead of charter flights, she got sardine seating. Instead of spotlight treatment, she got the kind of schedule that would make a coal miner ask for hazard pay. If there's a playbook for how not to nurture a generational talent, the WNBA is giving a masterclass. Meanwhile, Clark's out here playing MVP-level ball while enduring jealous side-eyes and shoulder shoves from players who think defense means WWE-style body slams. Honestly, if Caitlin Clark is the league's meal ticket, they're treating her like expired leftovers. And now that she's injured, you could hear the WNBA front office gulping in unison like someone pulled the plug on their life support. She came into the league last year with no break whatsoever between a college game and a pro game, didn't they? Ended up, as an all-star, ended up being fourth in the league. In MVP voting, was the clear winner for Rookie of the Year, no competition whatsoever in that regard. When it was really all said and done, we know what she brings to the table. But people wanted to hate because why? You had a bunch of players in this league that watched this young white girl come along and take the league by storm, and they resented it because they saw the marketing prowess that she had. Because let's be real, her injury wasn't just a team issue. It was a full-blown league crisis. The panic at WNBA HQ could probably be felt on the Richter scale. One quad strain later, and suddenly it's back to echoey gyms and scoreboard operators taking naps. Without Clark, the buzz vanished faster than Angel Reese in a crunch-time fourth quarter. Yeah, I said it. Clark was the WNBA's Rookie of the Year last season, and a first-team All-WNBA selection. So far, she's averaging 19 points and a league-leading 9.3 assists through 4 games this season. I could give a damn about that last one. I don't care about her leading the league in assists. I don't care about the points that she's averaging because I already know that the young lady can ball. She is special. What I'm interested in is what somebody tweeted me and asked about earlier today that I want to show you right now. Put this tweet up, please, so our audience can see there. At 4th Gen Bucci, B-U-C-C-I, writes Stephen A. Smith, can a WNBA keep itself afloat while CC, as in Caitlin Clark, is out? The online meltdown was instant. Twitter turned into a group therapy session. Fans aren't just bummed, they're mad. Because this train wreck was so avoidable. You burn a player out like she's a temp worker on a 16-hour shift, make her play 5 games in 8 days, let defenders hammer her like a piñata, and now you act surprised she's injured? Please. Clark's been treated like a one-woman Broadway show with the stage held together by duct tape, while other players chill in the wings like understudies waiting to pounce. Let's talk receipts. The viewership for Clark's games towers over the rest of the schedule like Shaq at a 6th grade dance. She plays, and the arena pulses. She sits, and it's crickets and cardboard cutouts. Ratings without her look like someone pulled the plug on the power grid. It's not just less exciting, it's commercial break during church levels of dull. If Caitlin Clark sneezes, 3 networks prepare emergency programming. That's star power. And how does the WNBA respond? By tossing her into matchups with defenders built like linebackers and referees who might as well be sponsored by Angel Reese's PR team. Clark's been absorbing fouls that would warrant jail time in most countries. Meanwhile, Reese is out there pretending she's an underdog while sneaking in cheap shots and calling it passion. The league didn't just overplay Clark. They milked her like she was the last cow on earth and forgot to feed her. She's logging massive minutes, drawing triple teams, and carrying Indiana on her back like a superhero with no backup. And now that she's hurt, The WNBA's looking around like someone just unplugged their Wi-Fi. Who's the next attraction? Sorry, but Reese's 2-point layups and scowling doesn't exactly make SportsCenter's A-block. The Fever stink without Caitlin Clark. It is rough. It has been a rough stretch. I thought that Indiana would split the 4 games, that she was out if she was going to be out 4 games. I guess that's still on the table. Clark's final game before the injury pulled over 2 million viewers. That's blockbuster territory. That's cancel your plans and pop popcorn type of energy. And now, the very games that were supposed to ride that high? They're stuck trying to scrape together enough attention to keep sponsors from ghosting. If you thought Reese could fill that void, think again. She's better at photo ops than pick and rolls. What's more tragic is this was all foreseeable. WNBA execs had a generational superstar fall into their laps. A marketing miracle. A ticket-selling, jersey-flipping, crowd-roaring lightning bolt. And instead of protecting her like a Fabergé egg, they treated her like just another player. Now they're staring down plummeting ratings and half-empty arenas like, wait, what happened? You don't let Caitlin Clark get bullied and battered every night and then act surprised when the wheels fall off. You don't allow dirty plays and flagrant fouls from players desperate for a highlight moment at her expense. And you definitely don't ignore her value until she's benched with an injury, and suddenly the league feels like it's been unplugged from life support. The fans know it, the networks know it, and even Stephen A. Smith's already prepping a monologue. Without Clark, the WNBA becomes what it's been trying not to be for 20 years, an echo chamber. And the worst part, it didn't have to be this way. Let's talk about the Indiana Fever for a second. If you thought they didn't feel Caitlin Clark's absence the moment she sat out, you're sorely mistaken. Their most recent game against the Washington Mystics was like watching a blindfolded squirrel trying to pilot a spaceship. Pure chaos, zero direction, and not even close to working. The Fever fell apart, and you could practically smell the desperation in the air. Players were glancing at the bench like Caitlin might leap out of the water cooler in a superhero cape to save the day. Spoiler, she didn't. The Fever stink without Caitlin Clark. It is rough. It has been a rough stretch. I thought that Indiana would split the 4 games, that she was out if she was going to be out 4 games. I guess that's still on the table. The Fever without Caitlin. That's a pizza with no cheese, folks. Technically still pizza, but why even bother? The offense dragged like a 90s dial-up modem trying to stream Netflix. The defense was more absent than a dad on a soap opera. And don't even talk about their shooting. Those missed shots looked allergic to the hoop. The whole game felt like someone trying to power a Tesla with a potato battery. If anyone still doubted how much one player could impact a team, this game erased all doubt. Look, everyone out there was hustling, but let's not kid ourselves. There was a Clark-sized crater in that lineup no amount of hustle could fill. Caitlin is the magnet that pulls defenders, shifts momentum, and gives the Fever that last-minute magic when all hope seems lost. Without her, it was like watching a team trying to patch a dam with chewing gum and duct tape. The belief just wasn't there. Instead of charging through the 4th quarter, they limped with a collective chant of, "We got this." That sounded more like, "Please let this be over." I just had the miserable task of watching the Indiana Fever play basketball without Caitlin Clark. There were a whole lot of things wrong with this game on the basketball side of things. Obviously, the Indiana Fever's interior defense was horrible. If you watched this game, you saw them give up, I think, over 50 points in the paint. Aaliyah Wilson looked like a cone down there. It was literally horrible to watch. I haven't seen a team play that bad interior defense in a long time. They were not even trying. It's like Caitlin Clark wasn't playing out there, and they decided, you know what, since Caitlin Clark isn't playing, we're not even going to try. We know we're going to lose. It was horrible to watch. This is a game you could have won against the youngest team in the league. Meanwhile, the Mystics smelled blood in the water and turned into sharks at a buffet. This wasn't a game. They hosted a feast. From the jump, they pushed the tempo, found every weak link, and ran the Fever like they were warming up at practice. Sure, the final score read 83-77 and looked competitive on paper, but don't be fooled. That was a smokescreen. What actually happened was a full-blown tactical takedown. The Mystics anticipated every move like they'd been reading the Fever's group chat. And the Fever? They looked like freshmen guessing on a pop quiz. You're playing against a bunch of rookies out there. This was a winnable game for the Indiana Fever. This team, mind you, with Caitlin Clark, literally lost by 2 to the New York Liberty, which is the championship team last year. And without Caitlin Clark, you look trash out there. And it's not even that they look trash. They are boring to watch. This wasn't just a loss. It was a full-on reality check. The Fever were missing their anchor, their brain, their heart. They fought hard, but without Caitlin setting the tone, the Mystics cruised. That missing spark, her court vision, her tempo control, her belief, was glaring. No one could fake that. Sometimes one missing gear makes the whole engine fall apart. And that gear was on the bench with an ice pack and a league praying she recovers fast. Now, with Caitlin out, the whole WNBA feels like it's stuck in a state of stunned silence and, oh no, what did we do? The meetings behind closed doors probably sound like, maybe we shouldn't have scheduled her like she was a touring rock band. Maybe, just maybe, someone should have realized she's a human being, not a highlight-generating robot. But hey, hindsight's 20/20, especially when your star player is limping. Here's the kicker. Even when she's not playing, Caitlin Clark is dominating the headlines. She's still the biggest story in the sport, while others are struggling to get a single retweet. Social media is losing its mind. People are posting injury prayers while simultaneously demanding better from the league. The hype hasn't disappeared. It's just sitting courtside, icing a leg. Meanwhile, her rivals are trying to go viral with TikToks that can't even get a proper algorithm boost. The league thought they could surf Caitlin's wave without respecting the tide. And now, they're just a bunch of confused floaties stranded on dry sand. The Indiana Fever lose to a young Washington Mystics team, 83-77. Look lost. Without Caitlin Clark, this should be the biggest wake-up call in WNBA history. If the powers that be don't realize they're watching their lifeline limp off the court, they're snoozing harder than a sloth on NyQuil. Caitlin isn't just a player, she's the player. She didn't show up quietly. She crashed into the league with fireworks and fanfare. She made people care again. And now, the buzz is dying. The viewership's plummeting, and everyone's looking around like, wait, why is the room so quiet? So, the Indiana Fever did not look good without Caitlin Clark. I guess that would be an understatement. Look, I mean, it's not that surprising to see the drop-off for the Fever without Clark. This Caitlin Clark effect, if you will, because so often what's talked about is her impact on interest or economics, but all of that is based on her abilities as a basketball player. The league was handed a generational gift and is managing it like a teen who just got a credit card. Reckless, clueless, and already in the red. So sure, keep pretending Clark's just another player. Keep hyping balance and shared spotlight while arenas echo and ratings nosedive. But spoiler alert, you can't put a lampshade over a lighthouse. And if Caitlin doesn't come back soon, in body, mind, or morale, you're going to be left with gymnasiums so empty, you'll hear players' sneakers squeak like ghost whispers. And to all the haters yelling overrated like it's a full-time job, congrats. You're about to learn the hard way just how wrong you were. The second she stepped off the court, the lights dimmed, the fans tuned out, and the magic evaporated. She wasn't just part of the show, she was the show. Now the WNBA is just playing the same scenes with the star missing from the credits. It's still technically on air, but who's still watching? Caitlin didn't just revive interest in the WNBA. She gave it a heartbeat. And without her, it's flatlining faster than a cancelled sitcom. Let us know in the comments below if you think the WNBA deserves this train wreck.